In the previous video, we understood the meaning and the nature of the attitude. And today we are going to start with the formation of attitude. So we know that the attitude is not inborn or it is not inherited, but it is learned one, okay? And the person learns it through socialization and learning skills. So attitude is learned by the process of socialization and learning skills. And how attitude is formed is that the individual experiences something and it develops his attitude and it becomes firm, okay? So over here different type of learning methods are given which help in attitude formation. The first one is classical conditioning. We know what is classical conditioning, we learned in the previous chapter. Classical conditioning means to associate some stimuli with something. So in classical conditioning we saw that experiment on dog, in which dog started associating the sound of the bell with the food and he started salivating. So how attitude is formed because of classical conditioning? Let's have an example. Say for a newborn baby is having some discomfort and his mother comforts him and he becomes satisfied, he becomes happy because of his mother's comfort. And now if this process goes on repeating, that is if process is repeated for several times, that child will associate his mother for the comfort, that is his mother is comfort for him, and then that association will create happy feeling for his mother and he will develop positive attitude for his mother. So if any discomfort would be there or if anything would be happening to the child, by seeing only his mother he would get comforted. So this is how the child learns through classical conditioning, okay? The next method is operant conditioning. We know that in operant conditioning reinforcement is given. A person or individual has to do something that means operant, and for which the reinforcement is also given to increase the probability of learning. So here this operant conditioning, this method helps in controlling the behavior as well. This method even develops the attitude, and also this method is used in controlling the behavior, okay? So what happens is in this method is that a person learns attitude if he is rewarded, that is if he is given reward for something, he will develop positive attitude for that act or for that thing, and if he is punished, then he will avoid that thing and he will develop a negative attitude for such thing. For example, if a child speaks very softly, so his parent would reward him. So speaking softly, that child would develop positive attitude. While if he do some mischief and if his parents scold him, then that child will avoid doing mischief because he has developed negative attitude, because the scolding, that is a reinforcement that his parent gave, is in a form of punishment to that child. So this is how operant conditioning helps in developing the attitude, okay? Then the third one we have is observational method. So we know that we learned this method also, that is observant learning, in which we know that observation is the main source for emulation or for learning something, okay? So here we need to understand that if a child is there, he closely observes the behavior of his parents, relative and other family members, and he learns many forms of behavior from them, okay? And then he acquires new attitude, and how he acquired new attitude and towards what? He acquired new attitudes towards the racial groups, neighbors, ideologies, and by observing behaviors of the adults. So by observing his adults, he develops his attitude. For example, observational method would be like, in a class, if teacher asks a question and if a child gives an answer, and then the teacher appreciates that child, so other children in the class would develop a positive attitude towards the teacher and they will also try to give the answer in the class, okay? But if opposite happens to this situation, that is if the teacher scolds the child for his wrong answer, then what would happen? The other children will develop negative attitude by observing the behavior of the teacher, that if we will give wrong answer, teacher would scold us, and so this will forbid them to give any further answers in the classes, so the children will not answer. So the positive or negative attitude can be developed by the observation also, okay? And then the last method, that is exemplary behavior, is given over here. So we know that a man learns his behavior or he develops something because of his interaction in the social environment, and we know that social environment is that environment in which he lives. So what happens is the individual observes the social environment around him. He evaluates from that environment, and he also see how it is looked upon in the society, means what society will perceive if he do the same thing, and then he decides whether to do it or not. So what happens is usually every individual evaluates and perceives attitude of other people in a wide variety of ways, but it can be said that only that behavior is exemplary which is accepted by the society. So what is exemplary behavior? That behavior which is accepted by the society is termed as exemplary behavior. So we know that individual evaluates and he perceives attitudes of the other people, and there are many people and there are variety of people available in our social environment, but we will follow that exemplary behavior which is accepted by the society. Okay, so like for example, many people have father, mother, teacher, religious leader, social reformers or political leaders etc as their idols. And why they make them as idol? Because some behavior of those people would be exemplary, that is in the sense that their behavior would be accepted by the society and they would become the idol of that individual. Now for example, we can say that exemplary behavior of people like Swami Vivekananda, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Amitabh Bachchan, Dr. Ambedkar, Srimati Indira Gandhi, Kalpana Chawla and etc. So these people were having exemplary behavior. Why? Because their behavior is accepted in our society. Okay. So what happens is the positive idols of people which reflect in their language, thinking and behavior. So what happens is the people starts accepting their exemplary behavior, and they reflect in their language, thinking and behavior because they were the idol of the people. So their language or thinking, the behavior of the idol is also reflected in the individual's self. Okay. So these were the four methods of learning through which attitude is formed. Okay. Now we have other topic, that is factors influencing attitude formation. So we know that attitude is influenced by some factors, and what are they? So they are family, socialization, direct personal experiences and effects of mass media. So what happens is during the life of an individual learns attitude either in covert or overt way. Either his attitude is covered or his attitude is overt, that is open, that is visible to some other person. Okay, and it is developed through the interaction, exchange of thoughts, behavior, evaluation etc. So where does the interaction comes from? Where he exchanges his thoughts and from how he evaluates his behavior. So these all factors that there are four factors, that is family, socialization, direct personal experience and effects of mass media. So first one is the family. Family is the most important factor that affects the formation of attitude. Why? Family plays an important role in formation of attitude because family is a social, that is small unit of society, but an individual is the smallest unit of family. So if an individual interacts, if an individual socializes, at very first in his life is with his family. So family is the most important factor that affects the attitude formation, and it is called that family is a small unit of society and individual is the smallest unit of a family. So we know that in society we have our family, so family is a small unit, and from that family we are the smallest unit of the family. Okay, then we know that the most basic and primary knowledge about socialization can be learned in family. So we know that if we want to learn any knowledge or we want to have our knowledge regarding even socialization also, that comes from our family because it is the first social unit in which we interact. Okay, and we also know that in our family every member is different and they play different role because of their age and their experiences, and as per their age and experiences they will have different roles and they will behave differently. So what happens is a human child is mostly influenced by the mother's behavior. As per the studies, human child is more dependent on the animal babies, more dependent than the animal's baby. What happens is we know that the family is a small unit of the society, and we know that the first one that affects the formation of the attitude is our family. But from that family also, a human child is mostly influenced by the mother's behavior. So even in the family, the first one to influence, or the most important one to influence, is the mother's behavior. And as per studies are conducted on the human child is more dependent than the animal's baby. So we have animals and we have our human child. So the human child is more dependent than an animal. Okay. Now the positive attitude in a child will develop if the family members respond with love, satisfaction, cooperation, or praise, etc. And in the same way, if the family members respond with hatred, contempt, malice, or jealousy, the negative attitude will be there in the child. So we have often seen that children classify behavior, good or bad, on the basis of likes and dislikes practiced by the family members. So what likes and dislikes are practiced in the family, what likes and dislikes are practiced by the family members, based on that child classifies a behavior as good or bad. Okay. So this is how family is one of the factors that influence attitude formation. Okay. Then we have the second one as socialization. So what does socialization means? According to sociologist, socialization refers to the lifelong process of inheriting and disseminating norms, custom, values, habits, and ideologies. So according to sociologist, what is socialization? It is a lifelong process. That is, this process goes on till death. And what is this process? Of inheriting and disseminating norms, customs, values, habits, and ideologies. Which means we inherit, that is, we develop, we gain, we disseminate, and what we inherit and disseminate? The norms, the customs, values, habits, ideologies of our society. Okay. So socialization is a lifelong process. Okay. Then in every society there are different social structure, and hence the process of socialization is also different. So different type of society will have different type of social structure, and thus the socialization would also be different for different societies. Okay. If we see our Indian society and if we see American society, the social structure is different, and thus our socialization with our society is also different. Okay. Then there can be changes in the process of socialization because of close internal interaction with different cultures, their lifestyle, custom, tradition, etc. So socialization can also differ because of the internal interaction. What does it mean? Internal interaction means interaction between two societies which have different culture, their lifestyles and custom and tradition which are different. So that also impacts the socialization. So for example, if a Gujarati family is living with a Punjabi family or with some other, so their socialization would be different compared to two Gujarati family living side by side. Okay. So their attitude formation because of their socialization would be different. Okay. Then after family, the other institutions that affect socialization are school, culture, religion, caste, etc. So after family, what does socialization include is, it includes our school, our culture, our religion, caste, etc. Okay. And also language, province, geographical location also helps in socialization. So our language, our province, our geographical location also helps in our socialization. Now how? For example, here example is given that Gujarati will eat their staple food, while Punjabi will give more importance to dairy foods, and South Indian would give more importance to coconut and rice. So this is how their province and geographical geographical location helps in socialization. Okay. So it suggests that the lifestyle and habits are as per the geographical location, and how we develop our attitude is also based on the socialization also. So this was the second factor that influences the attitude formation, and it is known as socialization. Okay. The third one is direct personal experience, which is the best teacher among the all. So direct personal experience is that individual experiences specific, means individual experiences are specific, and their understanding is also based on the perspective of that individual. that is individual experiences are specific and their understanding is also based on that perspective of individual. So what that means is, if there are two individual in same situation, the impact of that situation would be different on both the individual. Why? Because their perspective were different, because their looking at the situation, their way of looking at the situation was different. And so here direct personal experience is the best teacher for the formation of the attitude. It influences, the direct experience influences the attitude formation. So what happens is, many people in the same situation react differently. And why? It is because of their experience, past knowledge, education, understanding is all different. So we know that two people in the same situation will behave differently, will inherit differently. Why? Because of his experience, his past knowledge, his education, his understanding that is all different. They were all different, and that's why the two individual will perceive the situation differently, and thus it will influence their attitude differently. Okay. For an example, it is given over here. A very strict teacher has helped any student in personal way by taking care and guiding her, then the student will develop positive attitude towards the teacher in comparison to other students because of her positive direct personal experience. So what this example says is, if there is a strict teacher and if that teacher has helped a student in a personal way by taking care and guiding her, okay, so that child will develop a positive attitude towards the teacher compared to other students in the class. Why? Because that child has developed a positive attitude because of the positive direct personal experience, because he had the direct personal experience with the teacher was guiding and helping him personally. So because of that personal interaction, that personal experience, that child will have positive attitude compared to others in the class. Okay, this is how their personal experience works. And the last one is the effect of mass media. So we know that in this era, that is in 21st century, is in technological era. If we compare with the past, we know that if you want to give any information, one need to personally go to someone's house, or he had to write the letter or something, and which used to take a lot of time. But in today's world, we have newspaper, TV, mobile, internet, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Google, etc., and which are the important part of media of communication, and they are quick and authentic. So we know that if you want to have any information, we have on our tips of our hand. So in today's world, it is very easy to get any information and information of any place, and even we can respond to it immediately within the minutes. For example, during the floods of Uttarakhand, that everything was telecasted on TV, and people saw that how military aided the people over there that were affected by the flood. So seeing those helping army men, the people developed the positive attitude towards the army. Okay, so in this way also the mass media affects it influences the formation of attitude. So because of the information that we gain through this mass media, that helps our developing the attitude, and this also influences our attitude. So this was the last one that affects it that influences the formation of attitude. Okay.